Good morning. It's 5 o'clock on this Friday morning. We begin with your 5 top stories you should know as you start your day.
An attempted robbery at a gas station turns into a shootout involving a cashier. KENS 5 Sarah Duran has a lot more on what police say happens.
And the property tax bill is on its way to Governor Abbott's desk when Texans could see a break on their tax bills.
Plus, drivers, listen up. We got a big traffic closure you need to be aware of this weekend. It starts tonight. A portion of Loop 1604 North between I-10 and 281 will be closed. We're going to tell you why.
And aspartame is an artificial sweetener widely used in various food and beverage products since the 80s. Why the World Health Organization says you may want to skip foods and drinks that use it.
Top toys for the holidays already in the pipeline. We've got a preview of what parents may want to add to their list or take off, depending on how you look at it.
Good morning on this Friday, July 14th. I'm Jeremy Baker.
And I'm Jessica Coombs. Thank you so much for waking up with us here on KENS 5. Let's head over to Paul Morales to get a check-in on our weather forecast. Paul, today, probably another day to moderate your time outdoors.
Yeah, definitely. And really, for this, you could really put me on just autoplay and just replay.
We wouldn't ever do that to you, Paul. Don't worry.
I mean, it's the same thing every day, basically. I just don't see much changing. So today, we do have a heat advisory. I guess that's one thing that's changed. Instead of an excessive heat warning, heat advisory. But I mean, the difference in temperature, if you can tell the difference between a heat index of 109 and 111, well, then you're pretty good. In the heat advisory area, I think the heat index values will stay south of about 110. But in the excessive heat warning areas, some of those heat index values will definitely be above 110 degrees. All right, current temperature 80 degrees. Kerrville's at 76, Del Rio 82, Hallettsville 82, Victoria's at 83. We'll start off with our morning clouds, but we'll mix those out. We'll have lots of sunshine this afternoon, sunny to mostly sunny skies, and I'm going to go with 105 again. We hit 106 yesterday, so about 105, heat index 109. Take it easy out there in the heat. Lots of sunshine. Don't forget the sunscreen either. Okay, let's take a look at traffic and what's going on out on those roadways. We've got a lot of green here. Of course, there is, you've got some construction going on 35, close to 1604, also 410 and 35, and of course, there is some construction here around 1604 as well. There is one accident. This is going to be northbound. This is going to be northbound 37, right at 35, and it's in a bad place. Let me show you. It's right on the bridge here. You can see what's happening. So this is not good. Hopefully they'll clear this up rather quickly. But again, this is northbound 37, right as you head onto 35. So keep that in mind. And 37 in Southeast Military, yeah, running smoothly here. Hey, there's something I need to tell you about. This is important. TxDOT is planning some major lane closures on 1604 this weekend. Tonight at 9 on North 1604 between I-10 and 281. TxDOT will close all main lanes on both sides of the highway. Yeah, that's bad. Between the Bitters exit and the Blanco exit. That's going to affect a lot of folks. The closure will last all weekend until Monday at 5 a.m. We'll have more on the closures coming up at 5:30.
All right, thank you, Paul. New this morning, an attempted robbery at a gas station north of downtown turns into a shootout.
Police say the cashier pulled out his own firearm as the suspect held him at gunpoint and demanded money. It happened just before 12:30 a.m. at a 7-Eleven on San Pedro. KENS 5 Sarah Duran joins us live this morning. Sarah, was anybody hurt?
Jeremy, we know a customer suffered minor injuries and the suspect was possibly hurt as bullets flew through that 7-Eleven overnight, but police say the would-be robber ran off and they haven't been able to find him since. Now, this all happened when the suspect walked into the store and demanded money from the cashier. When he threatened the employee with a gun, the cashier responded by pulling out his own firearm. Investigators say that's when they began shooting at each other. At some point, the suspect was able to escape the store and he is believed to be injured. Another person inside the store at the time was grazed by a bullet. EMTs attempted to treat the customer, but they refused. Now, police are still looking for the guy this morning who attempted to rob that store overnight. As for the cashier, police did detain him for questioning. We're live on the north side. Sarah Duran, KENS 5.
Thank you, Sarah. Also new this morning, a boy is shot during a drive-by on the southeast side. This happened around 10:30 last night on Palfrey Street. Police say 3 boys were walking when a car drove up and someone inside started shooting. One of the kids was hit in the leg 3 times and was taken to the hospital. At last check, he was in stable condition. Right now, police don't have a description of the car the shooter was in, and the 2 other boys were detained for questioning, but they were not injured.
After a month-long stalemate, an $18 billion property tax cut bill is headed to the governor's desk. The Senate approved it yesterday, the House late last night. The deal includes raising the homestead exemption and sending billions of dollars to school districts to cut taxes for property owners. After Governor Abbott signs it, it still needs to be approved by Texans, meaning it will be on the ballot in November for voters to ultimately decide. Several Texas families with transgender children filing a lawsuit.
That's right. So they aim to block the state's new law banning minors from receiving many types of transition-related health care. According to reports, the families argue the law violates their parental rights. Several doctors also joined the suit. This lawsuit is similar to those that blocked restrictions in other states.
A new campaign is underway to make San Antonio a more bike-friendly city. Interim Transportation Director Catherine Hernandez says San Antonio's bike master plan is outdated, going back to 2011. This week, the city opened an online survey to launch the bike network plan with the hopes of gauging San Antonians' concerns and suggestions for enhancing the biking experience. Brian Martin with Bike San Antonio is already spinning with ideas.
Why do you need 6 lanes on a 40-mile-per-hour street? I don't know. You can certainly take 1 lane away, make a very, very good sidewalk and integrated bike lane.
Because really it's about creating a network that has all of those connections from street to street, connections from street to trail. And this will also give us an opportunity to look at a health impact assessment as well as creating a funding strategy.
There have already been more than 1,100 responses to the Bike Network Plan survey. To learn more about the network plan, click on this story on KENS5.com.
An expansion of much-needed services with the end goal of helping the community heal. The Center for Healing and Hope of South Texas is celebrating its new expansion. The center started after the 2017 tragedy in Sutherland Springs. Since then, it serves survivors and grieving families. What was an empty shell of a building is now transformed into a space for music and play therapy.
Almost everything that you see inside, as far as drywall, insulation, the air conditioners, the paint, the carpet, the rubber molding along the bottom, the doors, everything was donated. I think the center paid for some painting.
Organizers say their hope is the new building will bring a healing atmosphere for clients to grow.
On Monday, residents in and near Converse will have a new hospital to go to. Baptist Neighborhood Hospital's small format facilities offer services similar to traditional hospitals. The difference, it is a much smaller footprint. The hospital is open to everyone in the community, whether they have insurance or not.
All right, and some other health news. Some people may want to think about trading out that diet soft drink for maybe a glass of water.
I should have done that this morning. The World Health Organization says the long-used artificial sweetener aspartame found in many foods and drinks could lead to potential health risks. John Loring reports.
Aspartame may not be as sweet as you think, figuratively speaking. Aside from diet sodas and low-calorie foods, the artificial sweetener is in roughly 6,000 products worldwide, according to the Calorie Control Council. And every time a person ingests aspartame, the molecule breaks down into 3 pieces:
phenylalanine, aspartic acid, and methanol.
And now a semi-independent committee within the World Health Organization says aspartame should be deemed, quote, possibly carcinogenic to humans. But there's a caveat.
Despite consistent positive findings in these 3 studies, the working group concluded that chance, bias, and confounding could not be ruled out with reasonable confidence, and thus they concluded that the evidence was limited.
So at least for now, health officials recommend moderation, moderation, moderation.
I think our results do not indicate that occasional consumption should pose a risk to most consumers.
American Beverage, a group that represents the non-alcoholic drink industry, said in a statement, quote, "The fact that food safety agencies worldwide, including the FDA, continue to find aspartame safe makes us confident in the safety of our products."
The recommendation that WHO made was to moderate both the consumption of free sugars and the consumption of sweeteners.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Good reminder to always read the ingredient list before you buy. Time right now, 5:10 on this Friday. A stacked looking quarterback lineup at UT Austin. Nate Ryan tells us the motivation that led to this picture.
Lots of muscles there. And in the next half hour, the latest on the Hollywood strike that could cripple the industry. Stick around. Paul.
I tell you what, there was a lot of muscles in that picture before, right? Wow. All right, so as we head through the day today, lots of sunshine, sunny skies. It's going to be a hot one, 104, 105. Heat index today topping out at about 109. Heat advisory is in effect for today. And how long will this heat last? I'm going to talk about that. That's coming up. More KENS 5 News after the break.